Alexander Zverev, Sasha. He is in the form of his life. 11 straight wins, another ATP Masters 1000 victory. He defeats Rublev in 2 straight sets, looking like the better player, completely overpowering Rublev with his forehand, with his serves. He was just on fire. The match was over in 59 minutes, I believe. It was less than an hour. It was a quick match. I'm just very impressed by Zverev after losing the U.S. Open last year, after being up 2-0 and losing in that way, in that manner, to be able to bounce back within a year, win the Olympics, win the Cincinnati, and he won some other Masters 1000s throughout this year. So it's just very impressive by Zverev. It looks like he's matured. It looks like he's not just a great player with his skills, with the way he moves, with his forehand, with his servings. He's also, it looks like he's finally getting the mental part of the game. And I think it was very apparent when he was down 2 breaks against Tsitsipas in the 3rd set, and it kind of looked like he was down and out. It looked like Tsitsipas had fought back to win the 2nd set. It looked like he was in control of the 3rd set. It looked like it was over. It looked like it was done. Maybe a Zverev of past would have lost that one, but he dug deep. He came back down 2 breaks and won against Tsitsipas, another really good player. And in the final, he just looks dominant. 6-2, 6-3 victory over Andrew Rublev. Rublev, who's now 0-5 against Zverev, had taken off Medvedev. So Rublev had a great week too in Cincinnati. He had a good, he had a good tournament. And Zverev, who had never won a match in Cincinnati, I think he was 0-6 going into the Cincinnati Open all time in Cincinnati. Just had a great week. They asked him after the match if he was playing the best tennis of his career, and he said, "Ask me that again in 3 weeks." Meaning, we'll see, because I'm pretty sure Zverev, he's won some ATP Masters 1000. He's now, I think, tied for 9th place all time since the Masters 1000 started. I believe in 1990 with 5. I think I read that somewhere. So good for Zverev, but he knows what the goal is. He wants to win a major. He wants to win the U.S. Open. He wants to win one of these majors. And the U.S. Open is coming. Djokovic obviously is a heavy favorite. We'll touch on that in a little bit. But Zverev, I believe he's playing one of the best tennis in his career. He's looking dominant. He has that confidence from winning a gold medal. A gold medal, man, that could do a lot for you. It did a lot for Nadal. It did a lot for previous players before. So it did a lot for Murray. And it looks like it's doing a lot for Zverev right now. He has all the confidence in the world. He believes in himself. He could be down 2 breaks. He could be down a set. It looks like Zverev is just the mental part of his game is just finally maturing. He's now the 4th ranked player in the world, moving ahead of Nadal. Nadal, unfortunately, did announce that he's going to be out for the season. He's not going to play until 2022. So hopefully Nadal recovers and we're able to see him back on tour, back to, being the physical, tenacious player that we know he is. But in the meantime, Zverev, it looks like he's taking the throne of, the best player from that next generation. Obviously, Tsitsipas is still there. Medvedev, he had a great tournament in Toronto. He's still 25 years old. Rublev is 23. It looks like he's stepping it up too. Berrettini, 25. We'll see what Shapovalov does. There's other players out there that, have great potential and they've done great stuff too. But for my book, Zverev looks like he's the one. He's the one that's gonna step up and take that next step and try to take the crown away from Djokovic right now. Because we talk about the big 3, but man, it's starting to seem like it's a big one. I've seen comments out there where people say, "What big 3? It's only a big one." And it's kind of hard to dispute that, man. Nadal is out of for the season. It looks like Federer, he's recovering. He's having knee surgery again. He's trying to make a comeback, but it looks like the last man standing out of big 3 is Novak Djokovic. And, who's going to take him down? It's becoming harder and harder for the other 2 of the big 3 to take him down. It's looking like, they're getting old. Their body's taking a lot of wear and tear. It looks like it's going to have to be somebody else to bring him down, to take that number 1 spot, to start taking majors away from him. It looks like it's going to have to be somebody else. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully, we see a comeback. Rafael Nadal, his body starts giving up on him, and his foot finally starts nagging him, and he's able to get back on tour in 2022, and we see the best Nadal, or one of the best forms of Nadal that we've seen. But for Federer, is looking harder and harder with his age. He's already 40. It's already amazing that he's still playing at this age, but it's looking like more and more rare for Federer to have a elite comeback. Like I don't think he's gonna fail and he's not gonna be good anymore. I think he's still gonna be a a top 10 player or compete at a highest level and get far into tournaments. But the Federer that we know, that we love, and the one that's always gonna be competing for titles, it's looking harder and harder for him to come back. And Nadal a little less hard, but that foot injury that keeps nagging him has been nagging him his whole career. So what I'm trying to say is it looks like Djokovic is the last one standing for the big three. Hopefully I'm wrong, but that's just the way it looks like as of today. And one of these young guns is gonna have to eventually bring him down. Zverev took him down in the semifinals of the Olympics. He's beaten him before. He has, he's skilled. He has all the talents in the world to take that next step. And like I said, it looks like he finally has his mentals right. And that's exciting. That's exciting if you're a Zverev fan. That's exciting if you're a German fan that supports, your hometown hero, your national hero. But it's also exciting if you're just a tennis fan. I know there's a lot of tennis fans that are kind of worried. They're kind of skeptical about what's coming next after the big three. Like, is it still going to be fun? Is it still going to be exciting? Like, have we been spoiled these last 10, 15, 20 plus years with the big three? Like, what's after this? The next chapter in tennis looks a little daunting. It looks a little scary. And I agree. It's after you've been blessed with seeing probably the three greatest players of all time in the same era, you're scared of what's going next once they retire. You don't want them to ever retire. You don't want them to get old. You don't want their body to start failing on them. But it's inevitable, so we got to root these young guys on. And for my book, Zverev is that guy. He's the one that I'm probably gonna root for the most. He's the one that looks like he's ready to take that next step, and we'll see. He's had a great couple months back to back. He's had a great summer, Olympics, Cincinnati. We'll see how he wraps it up in the U.S. Open. I can't wait.